there was a problem I had trying to watch this movie, AKAPAD. Along the way, though, just impressed with the length of this movie. We're doing something with animation now where things are just long, and it's awesome. I mean, even we were recently talking about Invincible. It's just hour-long drop episodes, things I thought I would never see. But we have an over 2 hours, like 2 hour and 15 minute long animated movie, Lord of the Rings, one of the biggest franchises in human history. And no one seems to care about this movie. No one seems to want to talk about it. I don't even know anyone that's watched it or was excited when it became available on digital, or even when it recently dropped on HBO Max. We're going to analyze this. Now, I just want to say, before we get into it, it's animation weekend, so we talk cartoons, we talk animation. This is a great movie. You have to watch it. I may not address that again because we have a bigger problem with the Lord of the Rings in general, and we have to talk about it. Let's go.
Camera speed, sound production, take one.
Action!
So the wild thing is, we have they call this anime, and it's really anime in style. It's anime in visual. People don't have a lot of expression. That is very common. And it's funny to me how, to me, anime is such, it's a lower bar than American animation. I'll bear with me, my AK powders. But hey, welcome back. Subscribe, support, leave a comment. Welcome to the podcast. This is the one where we watch everything and I bring it to you. So, guys, the Film Buff Podcast. With all of that, anime is a lot of steps below American animation. You can watch anime and not see any facial expressions. It's not animated. Now, you'll get high-end artistry in all the other areas and facets, but there's no real connection. So it really makes you wonder why people prefer it. Everything revolves around how serious anime takes itself. It's designed for teenagers, late teenagers. It's designed for adults. It's designed for old men that need to see babes. Anime goes down some deep, dark roads. But for whatever reason, when it comes to anime and Lord of the Rings, no one cares. It's only anime in style. Because we go through the production houses of this movie. It's American anime. Very much what Netflix does. Netflix, in my view, resurrected anime for American audiences. This is adult, and we have this expansion of the lore. When it comes to Lord of the Rings, we see Gandalf in this movie. This butts into what's happening with Isengard. This is happening with the potential rise of the orcs. We have the music from the movies. Howard Shore. This anime, we'll just call it animation, feels like it walks into the Lord of the Ring movies. This is not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It's a side piece. It's a side quest. The story's there. I know a lot of people label this as woke, which is beyond me, just because there's a woman on the poster and the story revolves around women. People get a little too weird with the nitty gritty of the Tolkien lore. The lore and the chronological order, the characters, the intent of the characters, these are things that shift in time. They migrate and they go with the times. Now, the Rohirrim Rhapsody, look, highlight of that third movie, Return of the King. There was a girl in that. That girl is a major, and you're talking to someone who read the books. The chicken, I can't forget her name. She is in the books. She's in the movie. We have Liv Tyler, who's kind of right. She's not so much in the books, but she's in the movie. We have this little crevice, and I feel free to correct me with Liv Tyler. I know she's mentioned, but she's not that much of a character in the books, I'll say. let me correct myself. But we have this Peter Jackson crevice that he discovered, this little wrinkle. He did things in those 3 movies, the greatest film trilogy of all time, to appeal to a woman sect, a woman audience. He put babes, attractive women, in the forefront and let them do men things. And who cares? Because it worked and we all loved it. A generation later, when some of those tones and some of those notes are picked up on and repeated in the Amazon series and in this, people cry woke. And I get it. I think sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not. I think sometimes people want to give their material the best chance possible, and maybe this is where they think they should go. If you put all that to the side, this movie is a fantasy masterpiece. This movie is immensely entertaining. It is great for the eyeballs. There is Game of Thrones level drama when it comes to the infighting of these houses. It's fantastic. I love this movie. I love the action sequences. I love everything. With that said, The Lord of the Rings, I said it's Peter Jackson gave us the greatest film trilogy of all time. Those 3 movies could have won 3 straight Best Picture Oscars. I do feel like Fellowship of the Ring earned it, but we got it with Return of the King. And then he makes The Hobbit. Now, there's been a lot of documentation on how a lot of that was done fast. I think the clock was ticking. The rights might have been expiring, or the production houses, like New Line Cinema, might have been closing, and they just had to go with that movie. And they weren't ready, and it went from 2 movies to 3 movies, and then there was these extended editions, which are 3 hours. So, like, The Hobbit, which is truthfully a children's book, becomes 10 11 hour epic. But he does things where he runs The Hobbit into Lord of the Rings, and these are the things that people did want to hear. It got people excited. But The Hobbit overall disappoints. And then the Amazon series, and Amazon has great numbers around their series. They also have great production. They spend a lot of money on that series. Doesn't seem to please anyone, and it gets renewed for season 2. Some people like it, some people don't. Maybe a little bit better. And then we have this, and this is what you want in a animated extension of a franchise. Like, this is the quality you want. The quality is delivered in this, in Amazon, in The Hobbit. And I know people have criticisms around The Hobbit, which are all fair, by the way. I understand if The Hobbit is not for you. But then, where are these diehards? Where are the people who truly back Lord of the Rings? Because I'm not seeing them. I'm just seeing endless criticism. And for Warner Brothers to make another big bet on this franchise this way, they have to know something. And I feel like Amazon knows something. I don't know if that show got renewed for season 3, but I feel like these institutions know something about how well Lord of the Rings is received. Now, maybe they're still going on paperback sales and edition sales and even merchandise, and they see a pulse, and they want to tap that vein. But it's shocking to me that this is not on the lips and tongues of animation fans. This movie's great. I'm going to continue watching it for quite some time. Maybe we'll do a follow-up where I get a little deeper into what happens in this. But I don't know. I kind of, at this point, I want to watch this a few more times. I want to watch Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings is one of the trilogies that I just have on. It's not even a trilogy. It's just like a long movie. I love the extended editions. And I do put The Hobbit on. I like all 3 of those Hobbit movies. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. I champion this. I think this is a hell of a Hell of a movie. I call this American anime, by the way. AKAPAD, let me know what you think. Rock and roll. Love you.
Okay, that's a wrap.